Yes. Right. So let's use this more. You're going to have lots of time to do papers on your own. Okay. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of time to do things. If you can't do it, don't panic. Okay. You're getting your head into it. You've got a whole weekend. Okay. You've got more than a whole weekend. You've got a long time. You'll be fine. Okay. Right. Okay. Don't be terrified. Okay. We're starting with the tough stuff first of all. Okay. So, therefore, you guys can hear and see everything.
Yes.
Okay, great. Right, okay. So, let's have a little reminder, okay, about these cubic graphs. Okay, generally they don't ask you to sketch a cubic graph because it's too much of a mission to mark. Okay, they give you a graph and they ask you questions about it. Okay, so there's kind of two main strategies to find the equations of cubic graphs. The one is this, okay, where you've got all three different x-intercepts, which we call x1, x2, x3. Okay, remember we did this with parabolas. We had the two x-intercepts, x1 and x2, right? And some other point, xy. And what was our strategy there to find that equation? What was our general formula? You're not given this, you know this. It's y is equal to a, x minus the one x-intercept, x minus. And what was your process? You subbed in x1 and x2 first, right? You've always, when you're finding any equation, you've got to find a number for things which are not x and y. X and y represent an infinite number of points, whereas a, x1 and x2 are unique for that particular curve. Okay? Then you're going to sub in another point, okay? And then you're going to solve for a. Right. Okay, in this case, a would be positive. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right, in this case, this is a cubic function. Also, use it as a check, the graph. If it starts with a positive gradient and ends with a positive gradient, and you've got y is equal to ax cubed dot dot dot, then a must be, we know a has to be bigger than 0 in that case. Right, use that as a check. So what do you think our formula is going to be in this case when you're given three different x-intercepts? It's like this, but there's one more, right? So it's just y is equal to a, x minus x1, x minus x2. Okay, x minus x3. Okay. So with the three x-intercepts, you'd have to be given some other point. Often they give you the y-intercept, sub in another point, solve for a. Okay. If they say write in the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, what does that simply mean? You've got to times that all out. Okay. Start off by timesing 2 together, then times the third one into that. Okay. Now you don't have 2, but the trick to remember is this. If something is a turning point, if you have a point which is a turning point and an x-intercept, so I gave you something like this. It turns on the x-axis. Okay? If you've got a stationary point on the x-axis, so this x1, the way I think about it, when it touches it, it slows down, so it touches twice. Okay, this is how I think about it. I think of it touches twice. Parabola does the same kind of thing. Okay, remember if you've got a parabola, okay, and it turns there, it slows down and touches at 2 points if you want to think of it like that. So that counts as double, if you like. So your formula would be, if that's x2 now, y is equal to a, x minus x1, and that repeats because it's also a turning point or a stationary point. You with me? So that x1 repeats twice because it is also a turning point. Okay, x minus x2. Okay, so that then is the formula you're going to use, which I think happens in this question. Huh? Okay. And then you're going to have to times it out. So the one where it repeats touches at 2 points. Yes, you could write it like this. Y is equal to a, x minus x1 squared, x minus x2.
Oh, this one is
okay. And remember, something's a stationary point. What are they telling you? The gradient at that point is equal to 0, but I don't think we need that in this case.
Oh, so then we can just use this formula to
yes. Repeat that one. Yeah. Then you have to times it out. Okay.
Yes, so we know what we do.
Everyone, come with this. Get rid of this page.
It should be the half, right?
So, watch So f of x is this graph. So what should a be looking at that graph? A should be negative, otherwise you made a mistake, right? Those are the points we know about F. Okay? G is a hyperbola. Right.
So what are what's the x and the y? Is it 0 and 9?
This point?
Yeah.
Yeah, 0, 9. Yeah. E is a point of inflection.
But I'm saying, like, when we have y equals a, blah, 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 blah. What's the y and the x? It's 0 and 9.
Yeah, 0 and 9, yes. X and Y. The coordinates of this point are 0, 9, guys. That point is 0, 9. That's your other point. Okay.
What's number 6?
No.
So 3 x. How about 6?
So I'm calling that x1, that's x2. And that repeats because it's also a turning point, right? It touches. Touches means it's a turning point, right?
Oh, we've never been told touches twice.
You have it in your notes. Don't try that one. You can't remember, you've been told it. It's in the notes. Okay, but now you're going to have to do something. Okay, here. Guys, just have a look here. If you sub in this format, okay, it's fine, carry on. No, it's fine, Okay?
Then we have to do it.
Right? So if you sub in, but remember you've got to show A is minus 2, eh?
Yeah.
Okay? So we sub in 0, 9. All happy up to there? Okay? So we get 9 is equal to A, 0 plus 3 squared, 0 minus a half.
How do we get it?
I subbed in 0, 9.
Oh, so
You've got to sub in another point. You happy? Those are the intercepts. That's the one that repeated. Okay? Right. Solve for A. A should be a negative number.
just be here to go. Let me lock the door. Let me use my camera.
Oh, when are you looking at something?
I told you.
It should be nice and easy.
I should little by
Show that that's
equals times 3, you mean 2 times 3. TDOB. That's that one now. I have two blacks.
And you get A is negative. You should get, if you divide by negative 9 over 2, you get negative 2. Right. Are we happy? Good. Yeah, Amy, you just say 3 plus squared is 9. 9 times negative a half is negative 9 over 2, right? Right. Are we happy up to there? Right. So A is negative 2. Right. Then, okay, we go back into this equation here, and we replace A with negative 2. So it becomes y is equal to negative 2, x plus 3 squared, times x minus a half, right? Okay.
So I'm getting 17 over 2.
Okay, let's have a look. Okay. So now we're going to have to times that out, right? Are we happy with that? Are we happy up to here? Are we good? Okay. So now, if I times out,
Like that.
you're going to, that's what I'm worried about. Okay, but we're going to have to get that factor. Okay. I would do this first. I would times negative 2 into that bracket. Do that first. It doesn't matter which order you times it, right? So then so I would rewrite it. Okay, because then we bring that fraction. You know fractions in the answer they give us, right?
Yeah,
So
but can you not just work out the right?
it should work. Did you get the right answer? There should be more than one way to do it. Okay. But I would now distribute that negative 2 into there. It just gets rid of the fraction, guys. That's why I'm doing it like that.
So do you still put the 2
Because if you look at the answers, there's no fractions anywhere here, right? It says A is negative 2, B is negative 11, C is negative 12, D is negative 9. So there might be more than one way to do this, it's fine. But this is what I'm doing. Okay, so you're going to get negative 2x plus 1. Capish? Are we happy?
Yes.
Okay. X plus 3 all squared, go square that out.
Just one. Oh, yes. No, you're right.
Thanks, man.
X squared plus 6x plus
Now square x plus 3.
Why not?
You can do it different ways. Guys, hey, there are lots of different ways you can do this. Okay, yeah. I don't know, guys, just do it your own way. If you get the right answer, you're right. I just didn't want to work with fractions. That's why I distributed that negative 2 into that bracket first. But you don't distribute negative 2 to both brackets. Because if you got this, if you got 2 times 3 times 5, listen, hey, you don't say, you just go 2 times 3 is 6 times 5 is 30. You don't,
That's true, that's
you
true.
with?
Yeah, I did.
Otherwise you're timesing it by 4 instead of by 2.
Okay, that makes sense.
So now I distribute, and I get negative 2x cubed. Okay, that'll be negative 12x squared. That'll be minus 18x. Okay, that'll be plus x squared. That'll be plus 6x. That'll be plus 9. You agree?
Yes.
So I get y is equal to negative 2x cubed, that's only x cubed. Minus 12x squared plus x squared minus 11x squared. So far so good, b is minus 11. Minus 18 plus 6, minus 12x. And so what have I shown? I've shown that if it's of the form ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d, so I've shown a is minus 2, that's a coefficient of x cubed. B is minus 11, that's a coefficient of x squared. C is minus 12, which is the coefficient of x. And D is 9. Fantabulous. Well done, Roger. Guys, you're just getting your head into maths. Relax. Okay. Once you've done 3 days of this, it's a whole different game. Okay.
Today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Right. So even if you couldn't do this question, why did I ask a question like this? Then you assume it for the next question.
Yeah.
Don't write a little note to the examiner saying, I'm right, you're wrong. Okay, right. Use their answer. Okay. So if you couldn't do that question, don't write off the rest of the question if you couldn't do that. Okay. And anything that says show that means you can't use that to prove it. So you could not, okay, go and write the equation down and show the x-intercepts of that. Okay. North, cool. Right, okay. Right, carry on.
Yeah, same for
That way,
the
right?
points of inflection. Point of inflection is a double second derivative.
At the point of inflection, it's where the second derivative is 0.
This is a
What happens at a point of inflection? The graph changes, concavity. Okay, a little reminder. Yeah, guys, just have a look here. Okay, at stationary points. Okay, just look here. Okay, if you've got some curve f, how do I find the x-intercepts? It's where f of x is equal to 0. You need to understand that language. If they're telling you f of x is 0, they're asking you to find the x-intercepts, right? If they ask you to find the stationary point, what's your starting point going to be? What happens at a stationary point? The gradient is 0. So you're going to solve f dash of x is equal to 0, right?
Double dash.
If they ask you to find the point of inflection, it's where it should be double. Okay. F dash of x is equal to 0. If they ask you to find a point of inflection, what happens? It's where the graph changes concavity. It's where your second derivative is 0. Okay?
So I must just derive until I get my answer.
The second derivative means derive twice. Rosie! How do you say hello in Spanish?
She said Latin.
Doing Latin is the weirdest decision.
She doesn't do much. Oh.
Okay, right. Okay. No, not you, the teacher. Right, carry on this question, guys.
No way she's honorable as well. There's no way she's honorable.
Yeah, they're just making them.
Right, guys, come. You want to really have 5 questions before I go over them.
Okay, so not your mama.
I would leave them as fractions, but on my graph I would write them as decimals to see if they make sense.
It's happening. I don't know how to use a calculator. Yes.
Did you get negative 11 over 6?
Yes.
Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, at a point of inflection. Remember the graph is changing concavity. What's it changing from? It's changing from, in this case, the brown part of that graph is where it's concave up, and it's changing to concave down, right? That point where it changes concavity is your point of inflection. So your first derivative is negative 6x squared minus 22x minus 12. Your second, negative 12x minus 22. But at a point of inflection, you want to find out where that's equal to 0, right? Okay, so you solve that, okay, and you get x is negative 11 over 6. Okay, just by the way, what's a check you could use? But you're not really supposed to use it as a method. But a point of inflection always lies where? Between the two. If there are 2 turning points, it lies in the middle of those 2 turning points. So if you go do this, you go minus 3, that x coordinate, but we don't know the other x coordinate. Okay. Okay.
Yeah? The x is for 1 or 2.
Are we happy?
Yes.
Okay, carry on. Next question.
Wait.
What's to wait for?
What about y?
What did the question say?
So it says determine the coordinates.
X
Coordinates.
That's crazy.
Not really, it says there. Determine the x coordinate. They don't ask you for the y coordinate.
Okay, but what did you get as the y coordinate? Now that I've done it.
6.6.
Read the question.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I
All right.
You only have
Don't predict the question, read the question. Okay.
So will they mark me down?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you come out, oh, the paper was so long. It was so long, we couldn't finish.
No, that's
That's FS. You have to finish this paper fine.
And the further studies students, sir?
First study students, they're done, they're finished.
Oh.
Did we finish?
Probably not. Did you finish?
Sir.
That thing was terrible.
I haven't done it yet, I haven't looked at it. Okay, right, let's try the next, keep going guys, keep going please. People at home, if you've got questions, just shout out and interrupt. If you have, okay.
Sorry. I swear I'm alive, I swear I'm alive.
Yeah, but so I could choose
I actually don't know.
Okay.
Oh wait, what did you?
Oh, E is over no.
So I
Do you have to write it? Do you do the opposite of it?
It should be positive because it's a thing. Because it's below the
What should
point
be
of
positive?
inflection. The E point.
So guys, what are they saying to you here? That at this point E, okay, that the gradient at this point here, the gradient at that point is equal to 8. What gives you the gradient of a function? The derivative. Are they saying to you replace x with 8?
No.
No, they're saying to you if the gradient is 8. So I would start the question down like this. For a stationary point, I say gradient is 0. Here, we're finding out where the gradient is equal to 8. And what gives you the gradient? The derivative equation, right? So that's what we're trying to solve. And you're going to get 2 answers, I would think. No, yes, yes. No, you won't. You only get 1, won't you?
Well, I think you get 2, but only 1.
It's bad.
I'm just hoping you get to negative 6x.
Oh no, you will get 2 points. Quite close to each other. Okay, keep going.
-2.
Why is this negative x so
And -5.
I assume it would be would it be part of the exercise?
I love using my calculator. And my calculator loves using mine.
Excuse me?
Then you haven't had a bad one.
What?
So then you haven't had a bad one.
Oh, so the most so it's all one person.
I'm so good at this awesome math class. The odium is the
Come on, we're working. We're having a break now. Come on. Taylor, Annie. Patsua. Good. What? Oh, she's got millions of names.
Okay.
Khaleesi. Why were you Khaleesi?
Oh, it's because I don't bring it over.
Game of Thrones. The other haircut. Yeah.
What? Like a Khaleesi.
Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. 6x
Khaleesi
squared.
has white hair,
I've
didn't she?
never watched Game of Thrones, so this reference
It's not
is
Daenerys.
flying over my head.
Right, just okay, let's just check we're not making mistakes. So minus 6x squared minus 22x minus 12 is 8. 0 is equal to 6x squared plus 22x plus 20. So guys, now, this equation mode of your calculator. If, listen to me, did you get to that bit? Am I right up to there? Have I made a mistake? Negative 6x squared minus 20 minus 12 is equal to 8. So I moved everything to the right. So I've got 6x squared plus 22x plus 20. Yeah, because I prefer to keep the coefficient of x squared positive. Okay, right, it doesn't matter, it makes no difference. Right, now listen to me. Okay, if this was section A, and the question was solve that equation, you're going to have to show you're working. You're going to either have to factorize, show you're factorizing, or you're going to have to... How do you know if you can factorize something? Well, always use equation mode. Okay, if you get surds, you can't factorize it. If you don't get surds, it can be factorized, right? And work backwards from the answer. Okay, but yeah, this is section B. We're not really testing whether you get... We don't have time for that, no. Stick that into your calculator. Okay. But if you want, you can impress people by going, but you don't have to show any of these steps. I would just go straight to the answer. Right, so what did you get? X is what?
5 over
Negative 5 over 3.
What does the calculator spit out? Negative 5 over 3 and?
So I don't see that.
Okay, that's it. You don't have to show any work. If you feel very insecure and you want to factorize that, what will it factorize to using that answer?
3x
Times by
plus
3,
5.
move across. So 0 would be 3x plus 5 and x plus 2. But honestly, we allocate marks here.
So that line is
Okay.
useless.
Always, with graph questions, the amount of times you guys come up with an answer, it makes no sense linked to your graph. So sometimes people will get x is equal to 20 here, and they'll say, oh, that's fine. Even though the x coordinate of 20 is down here somewhere and the gradient's negative. Okay, so which of these answers, okay, looks valid? What does the question say? X is equal to?
Oh no, the graph. Don't listen to me.
Okay, at E, eh? Okay, well, have I been a dumb ass here?
It can be negative 2 because
Oh, no.
you see the line.
Okay, no, sorry.
Because if
Wait, I've just forgotten what the question
no
was.
is negative
Okay,
1.8.
determine the coordinate, if the gradient at E is, okay, we haven't worked with E yet. Okay, so what does the coordinates of F? What does the coordinates of F? We should write F, so listen, I did a stupid thing straight away. As soon as you get any answer, you should have filled it in on the graph. What was the X coordinate of F?
Negative 11 over 6.
Which is roughly what?
Negative 1.8.
So the X coordinate of F was negative 1,8, right?
Yes.
Okay? So to figure out the X coordinate of E, we've got to look at the graph, right? Okay. Negative 5 over 3 is what? About negative 6 over 10. So, I mean, what's negative 5 over 3 about?
Negative 1.66.
Negative 1,66, right? Okay. This is negative 1,8, right? You with me? What do we talk about? Okay. At E, sorry, the X coordinate of E, of F, sorry, the X coordinate of F was negative 1,8, right? E is to the left of that. Do you see that? So which one is F? Is it negative 2 or negative 5,3? They're checking you looking at the graph. That's the only way you can figure that out. Okay. Does that make sense? So the X coordinate of F, let's make that a bit larger. The X coordinate of F was negative 1,8. So the X coordinate of E, okay, is equal to negative, must to the left, so it must be negative 2. Are we happy with that? Use your graph. Okay. As soon as you get an answer on any graph question, fill it in on the graph.
So
Have I finished this question now?
No, you need to
Because
cross
what
it
did this
out.
question say? Yes, I need to cross that out first of all, but what did the question say?
You find the coordinate.
Find the coordinate, so you need to go find the y coordinate.
You need to sum it in.
Okay.
Yes.
So half of graph interpretation, guys, involves two things. They give you a coordinate and they give you the graph it lies on. And you have to find the other coordinate by subbing it in. Okay. So at E, we know x coordinate of E is negative 2, and at E, we know it lies on the graph. Negative 2x cubed minus 11x squared minus 12x plus 9.
Y equals 8.
So y will be equal to minus 2 times minus 2 cubed minus 11.
Oh, I'm supposed to. I didn't sub it into the original equation.
So when you're dealing with the hyperbola, you try and find the equation. The vertical asymptote would change sign.
Well, think about it.
If
Where
the
the-
asymptote was
the
negative,
vertical asymptote is where the denominator is the x value which will make the denominator 0. Because when the denominator is 0, so yes,
Oh,
it
so-
changes sign. So what number would you have to sub in? Does that make sense? Okay.
and that's the one underneath.
Okay. So what did you get for your y coordinate? 5, eh? So you should, your final answer, always guys, listen to me, at the end of a question, go back and read the question again and check, have you answered the question? Amy, when I talk, don't. So E is going to be the point, minus 2, 5. If you don't write that down, they can take off a mark.
Not 71.
Okay.
Don't worry, I forgot a square.
Right. Try C.
E is
So on the graph, go fill in now. Once you answer the question, fill it in on the graph. So E is minus 2, 5. But E also lies on your hyperbola, right?
I was thinking of that.
Because I teach geometric classes. And I'm grade 11 AP is out of the class.
So where's grade 11?
Half past at 11 o'clock. Right, what's the next question? If the graph of G has the vertical asymptote at the minimum stationary point of F. So what do they pull that in then? So they say to you, this that's hyperbola, right? Okay, it's got a vertical asymptote where? At the minimum stationary point. Where is that? When x is negative 3. You with me? Okay. So your vertical asymptote is there. Do you agree with that? This must be the line x is equal to negative 3. Capish? Because it says there's the minimum turning point. You with me? Okay. There's a vertical asymptote. The vertical asymptote is x is equal to minus 3. All good with that? Okay. And then it says find the equation of G. Okay. And they tell you the equation of G is y is equal to the simple question C. Y is equal to 2 over x plus p plus q. So first of all, deal with the vertical. Use this to get your first bit of information. The vertical asymptote is x is minus 3. What's a vertical asymptote? It's where the graph is undefined, right? So, right. What's your name?
And the y asymptote is basically so I can just sum the negative.
So Taylor, if the vertical asymptote is that x is minus 3, how does that help us? What do we end up with?
Then you have
Y is equal to 2 over what?
minus,
Over?
x plus 3.
It becomes 2 over x plus 3, right? Guys, look here please. Amy? It must be 2 over x plus 3, why? Because when you sub in the vertical asymptote, what do you have to get? You have to get undefined, right? Okay, so far I know this now. I'm up to there. Are you with me? Do I know another point on this graph? What point do I know?
We know E.
E, what's the coordinates of E?
Negative 2, 5.
Negative 2 and 5, right? So you're going to sub in right and go solve for Q. And looking at the graph, Q should be a positive number.
But it can't
Did you get Q is 3?
Yes.
Okay. Always go back and say, have I answered the question? What was the question?
Determine the equation of G.
Determine the equation. If you stop there, you've lost the mark. Why? Okay, because the question said, what is the equation? I haven't written what the equation is. Right, so go write down the equation if you haven't yet done that.
In the form of y.
Yep. I'll stop there, I'm not done. Okay. So y is equal to 2 over x plus 3 plus 3.
So why don't you do that?
Are you happy with that?
Yes.
So some of the past questions I was doing, when you do questions like determine the values of x for whichever x is really it gives you marks for notation, but the notation is that
No, it can be interval or inequality. Okay, so often they just give inequality in memos, but intervals perfectly exist. Okay.
So you still get the mark.
Right. Keep going, guys. D and E and F. We'll have a break at the end of this question. Okay, sorry, we didn't finish this question. Okay. No, the whole of this question. Question 9.
It's different because like you only have one question to solve, but there's 25 parts to that equation. Yeah. You only have one question to solve.
Come on, focus. So now we're looking for the axis of symmetry with a positive gradient. Okay. So what's the key thing to remember? So an axis of symmetry with a positive gradient, guys, it goes through, what's the key thing with axis of symmetry? Two things. It always goes through what? The point of intersection of the asymptotes. There's one with a gradient of 1, there's one with a gradient of negative 1, right? So it always goes through your points of intersection. Okay. If you have two, if that's the point of intersection A and B, it will go through A and B. The one will have a gradient which is 1, and the other will have a gradient which is negative 1. Okay, so they go through the point of intersection of your horizontal and vertical asymptote. One has a gradient of 1, one has a gradient of negative 1. Capish? Okay, so in this one over here, we've got, they want the one with a positive gradient, right? Which is going to be this line over here. Okay, so what do we know about that line? Okay, so this is for question, what do we do? Question D. Okay, so for D, okay, we've got this line, we know the gradient is 1, and we know that it goes through, what's the coordinates of this point? This was y is equal to 3, eh? Okay, what was the equation of the hyperbola? Oh, y is equal to 2 over
x plus 3.
x plus 3 plus 3, right? That was our hyperbola. So, m is equal to 1. It goes through the point negative 3, 3. That's the coordinates of this point over here. Okay, that point of intersection. Okay, so it's a straight line. So, y is equal to mx plus c. Sub in m is equal to 1. And we get y is equal to x plus c. Sub in the point with the of intersection of the two asymptotes. So we sub in negative 3, 3. And we get c is equal to 6, which looks right. That means that thing over there is 6. Okay, so the equation is y is equal to x plus 6. Got it right? High five yourself. Are we good?
So the way you do that, right? Because the 6 is above the 9, but that's okay.
Sorry about that. I'm glad it worries you. At least you're paying attention, right? Okay. So let's. I can't undo it. Okay. The line should go like this. X plus 6 should be there. Okay, this is a mess now. Right, but your graph should look a mess by the time you finish. Okay. Okay, so guys, if you've got a picture of graphs, right, and then they ask you an inequality, it is not algebraic inequalities. Okay, the amount of people who see inequalities, they want to do some quadratic and try to solve it. If it's part of a graph question, you're using the graph to solve the question. Right. So try it.
So must have looked at the two equations.
I did it.
The one cross equation.
Kiki.
Another cross equation.
Between negative 3 and E, that G is G is oh yeah, I thought it was G is greater than
Use color. Okay, so what's this question saying to you? When they say to you, wait please. When they're saying f of x is bigger than g of x, what are they saying to you? When are the y coordinates of f bigger than the y coordinates of g, right?
Yes.
In other words, if y coordinates are bigger, when is it higher up, right?
Yes.
When it's a green graph above the red graph. But they only want the answers between negative infinity and 0, right? Okay, so you take a piece of paper and you cover your graph and go from left to right. In the beginning, is the green graph above the red graph? Yes, at this point over here, okay, green is above the red, okay, green's above the red, but at negative 3 the graph doesn't exist. You with me? At negative 3 there's an asymptote. So your first interval, okay, is from, so your solution is going to be from where? The most negative, in interval notation, your most negative thing has to go on the left. So it goes from negative infinity up to negative 3. Can you include negative 3? No. Okay, because why? That's the vertical asymptote. Even though it said bigger than equal to, at negative 3 that thing doesn't exist, right? Okay, if you prefer inequality language, what would you write? You just write x is less than negative 3, right? Either language is fine. Don't mix them up with inner questions. Okay, then what happens after negative 3? After negative 3, well, the red graph is above the green graph immediately afterwards, right? Is that what I want? No, I want the green graph above the red graph, right? Where does it change over? At E. What was the coordinate of E? Negative 2. You with me? That's why it's important you fill things in. Okay, so at E, the x-coordinate is negative 2. And then they swap over, and once again, the green graph becomes bigger than the red graph. You with me? Can I include negative 2? Why? Because it's not an asymptote, it's where they're equal. And what does the question say? The question says, where are they bigger than or equal to? So it's going to go from negative infinity to negative 3, or the x-coordinate of E is negative 2 included. Okay? And after negative 2, the green graph is above all the way up till 0, which is where they want the answer up to. But they said that we can include, can I include 0? Yes, I can. Okay, because it's above it. So there's your answer. Okay, are we happy with that? If you prefer this language, arrows which way?
To the left.
Thank you. Okay, I'll put something. Okay. The X in the middle, arrows to the left. Remember the answer.
What do you guys think was the example? I'm just there.
Come on, Fatsu, be better. Right, okay. What? What's that? Okay, right. Here's the paper.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we happy with that, everyone? Okay, last one, come. Okay.
And then we can take a break, and then I keep it. No, it's not.
Right, last one, which is probably quite tough, I would think.
I'm actually going to support the team.
Do not get stuck on questions for a long time that you don't know what's going on.
So use this information here to determine just X and try and because always make sure you put it on the process. Then for
with the same thing. And you put it I know, right? This is like, well, you complete it when you write.
But I don't have
It's just that this is shifted back. Not like this is
Yeah. Yes. I have my own.
Quite a few ways you can do the next time.
that's like 2%. That's 3. But now I have to say that for 3 months. Sir, could you do this question technically by inspection?
Yes, you can, but you have to do some algebra.
Yeah. Because greater than or equal to 0.
I understand, I just don't figure That's the problem. I understand it. And then I go, yeah, it's this.
You say yeah to the member.
Alright, so when I have a think about this one, there are lots of ways you can probably approach this one. Okay, so first of all, alright, quiet. Okay. So we're looking at the red graph and the green graph, right? And what's the question really saying? It's saying how much must I move the red graph vertically, right? I know it says minus k, but that doesn't mean you have to move it down. It just means you have to move it vertically, right? Okay, so that they have no points of intersections. You with me? So they're saying to you, okay, how must you move? This is represents, what does this equation represent? It represents, this is h moved k vertically, right? Capish? Which was the parabola, which was the hyperbola, right? So that's got to do with the red graph. So they're saying to you, if you move the red graph, the hyperbola vertically, okay? The red.
X is not a graph. They just say.
Oh, hang on, wait. No. They're saying to you, h of x. Sorry, no. Where was I? Determine the values of k. The graph. If the graph of f. Hang on. I haven't even read the question. If the graph of f. Okay, get back to yourselves. If the graph of f is shifted. Okay. So that the new graph. There is no h. That was GA. So the new graph. H of x minus k is equal to minus 12x cubed minus 9x. It does not intersect the graph of g. It's a very weird question. Is shifted so that the new graph. No, man, I am right. No, guys, h isn't the graph. It's fine. It's fine. So this new graph, okay, h of x minus k does not intersect. Okay, the graph of f is shifted. So the new graph. It's a weird way of asking it. Okay. H of x minus k is equal to minus 2 graph. Does not intersect the graph. Okay, sure. They've asked this in a very weird way, in my opinion. Okay, So we have some new graph, sorry guys. Where this new graph h of x, okay, is what? Okay, it's the original graph f of x, because that was f of x, do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay, so h of x minus k is equal to that. So h of x, this new graph h of x, is simply f of x plus k. Does that make sense? Because they told us this information here. And this was f of x. So h of x is f of x plus k. So what is h of x? It's f of x shifted vertically by k. Okay? And, are you with me? And when I shift the green graph vertically, what must happen? Okay, they say there must be no points of intersection with g, yeah? Which are int with g. Okay, and g is your red graph. So what's the question saying in a very weird way? Okay, it's saying to you, how much must I move the cubic function up? Okay, so that for the x value is bigger than 0, they're not going to intersect the red graph and the green graph. Capish? Are you sort of with me? Tough question. Okay, so now let's have a look at this graph. So we're only first of all looking at the region where x is bigger than 0. So I'm looking at the green graph and the red graph, right? And I'm only looking at the region where x is bigger than 0, right? So to the right of the y-axis. So I've got this point over here, which is 9. Okay? And I've got this point over here, which my y-intercepts are going to be important, which we can go work out pretty easily, right? Okay? And then I've got to move this green graph so that it no longer cuts the red graph in that region. So how am I going to have to move the green graph? Up or down? Down. I'm going to have to move it down by more than that distance. Do you see that? If I move this down by more than that, it'll cross over, right? Do you agree with that? That is the distance k. I've got to take the green graph, move it down, okay, by k units, whatever that is, because after I move it down, what's going to happen? Okay, they're only looking at the region to the right of this. They don't care about the other region. Then this graph will now be, okay, if I move this down over here, it will be like that, right? Okay. Capish? Now it's no longer going to, so this is a new green graph here in blue. This is a new thing here, right? Because now it's no longer, come on, it's no longer going to, there's the new graph, right? But for x is bigger than 0, it's not going to cut it now. Do you see that? Do you sort of get that? We're getting a lot of blank. If you don't quite get it, it's not the end of the world. The question, first of all, you have to understand what the question was asking, which was asked in quite a difficult way. It was saying to you, h of x is f of x plus k. Are you happy with that? Which is saying to you, how much must you move the original graph f, which was the green graph, so that it no longer intersects with the red graph. But only for x is bigger than, do they say bigger than 0 or bigger than equal to 0? Bigger than or equal to 0. Capish? So if I take now, okay, how much do I have to move the green graph? Okay, well I've got to move the difference between their y-intercepts. You with me? Only because I'm looking at the region where x is bigger than 0. Okay, so I'm going to have to move it down by, k is going to how much the difference between those two things, right? Yes. So what are you going to have to figure out first? The y-intercept of the hyperbola. Right, so everyone go find the y-intercept of the hyperbola. Okay, there's space here if you want something.
She's so fake, she wasn't sitting next to me. Timmy, what the hell? No, not that you're late. I'm talking about, where were you going to sit? Huh? Where were you going to sit?
I didn't think you saved last year like that.
Why would you think that?
Right, so I've got to solve this. I've got to find the y-intercept, so I let x be 0, and I get y is equal to 2 over 0 plus 3, which is 2 over 3 plus 3, which is what? 11 over 3. Okay, yeah? Hang on, wait. Okay, so this y-coordinate is 11 over 3. Alright? So this one is 6, so you've got this. This is 9. Okay? And this over here is 11 over 3, right? So what's the difference between them? It's 9 minus 11 over 3, right? Okay? So your difference is equal to 9 minus 11 over 3, which is what? 16 over 3. Okay? Okay, right? So how much do I have to move the graph down? By more than 16 over 3, right? Okay, so you can write k must be, okay, but it's got to be a negative number, right? Because it's moving down. You with me? So k must be less than.
Wait, why must it be a negative number?
Why is it less than?
More, no, because it's more negative. Negative 50 is more negative than negative 16 over 3. Do you agree with me? Okay, more negative. It's got to go down a lot. It's got to be more negative. Okay, you fish? Am I right? Yes, I'm right. Okay. Rough question, that. So, guys, another thing you need to be very conscious of in your mind. Okay? You have your 150 marks, right? 120 out of 150 is an A still. Okay? Which means you can leave out 30 marks and still get an A. Okay? So this is a 3-mark question. What you do not want though, especially in the beginning of your paper, is to get bogged down with a 3-mark question for half an hour, cross it out 15 times, now you've lost half an hour, and you've got no marks. If you, first of all, reading time is not great in maths in my opinion. Because I personally start to think when I start to write. But once I start to write, pretty soon into starting to write, I get a clue whether I vaguely know what's going on or not. Right? If you are in a question where you know you are bullshitting, okay, you know you have no idea what's going on, right? Highlight it and go back to it later. Okay? Do not get stuck writing crap for an hour, okay, which you get no marks for. And then you get to the end of the paper and you're like, oh, only have more time. Okay? Also, you start getting very anxious. Okay, if you start crossing out 15 times. What do you have to remember in maths exams? You keep breathing. Box breathing. Breathe, hold. Nobody can see it, you don't have to be dramatic about it. You have to go, like a girl in front of me, touch her around like a matric guy, I have to write every matric exam behind, who did that literally, and then threw papers in the air, and I just sat most of my exams watching her behaving. Okay, do it subtly, but breathing is important. Okay, right, you're on a break for 10 minutes. Good.
So,
Yeah.
are you going to start another meeting for another question, or we
Yes,
carry
I
on
am.
with this one?
Yeah, I'm going to start another meeting. Okay, thanks, Dad. No, I need a break. I need a break. I'm not taking other options. I'll speak to the end of. I'm tired. I need a break. Okay. Okay.